evening to everyone. Welcome to CEO Series by Pino Global Entrepreneurship Center at Florida International University College of Business. My name is Deepak Ohri, Executive in Residence, and with me comes Adam Manikowski. I met Adam in Bangkok, and I think we spent many hours together. I was very impressed with Adam's inclination towards customer service, looking at everything from a customer perspective. That was very, very nice to see from a person who's coming from a retail business, because I met many people previously whose outlook were very different. So Adam, welcome to CEO Series. Good evening to you.
Hello, Deepak. Hello, everyone. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Deepak, for the invitation. Indeed, we spent many hours of conversation in Bangkok. It was a great time together. And, after our meeting, I have lots of thoughts, and it was a really great time together. So thank you, and thank you for keeping in touch.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Now it's been 25 years at Zabka. Am I right? Zabka is celebrating 25 years. And how many years are you celebrating?
So indeed, this is a very important year for Zabka because it's our 25th anniversary. And also this year we will open our 10,000th store, which will be a big event. As to myself, I joined Zabka around 6 years ago. So the time goes really, really fast here.
Okay, now we'll start with something. In Poland, the retail business went down during COVID. It was a very tough time, but Zabka did quite well. So how?
So you're right. I think COVID was, very tough for the businesses around the world. Different sectors reacted differently. For retail, it was extremely difficult, especially on the beginning, to make sure that you can provide our customers the proper protection. So, everything was all the disinfection liquids or plexiglasses or face masks were on deficits. So it was very difficult to acquire them. And as Zabka, we managed, and we are known from the fact that we can react very quickly and we can adapt to the situation very quickly. So what we did, we helped our franchisees as a top priority because our franchisees, they're running the stores. So we provided them with all the proper equipment, which they need to protect themselves, but also which they need to protect the customers during, especially beginning where nobody exactly knew what kind of implication COVID could have. And then we, of course, having customers in our hearts, quickly adapted to their changing needs. So we could see that the customers, they don't want to travel and spend time in the busy and big hypermarkets. They want to rather visit smaller stores nearby, and Zabka is perfect for them. So for example, to be closer to the customers, we adapted and aligned our assortment according to their needs. So for example, we introduced fresh meat or fresh fish to our stores to make sure that they can do fuller top-up shopping and they don't need to travel to grocery stores. And we could do it really very, very quickly. We also spent almost $30 million to help our franchisees with the proper equipment so that they could run the proper businesses. We work with our suppliers to make sure that we have a full availability of all the products and all the range which we want to sell for our customers and also to the franchisees so that they could run the businesses properly. And I think that because of the very huge cross-functional teamwork, we managed to successfully go through COVID, and even more because this is during COVID when we accelerated our expansion and started opening more than 1,000 stores per year.
Okay, so what is the thinking behind Zabka? Those who don't know Zabka, because Zabka is in Poland, in Europe, so who don't know about Zabka, actually everyone should be knowing about that. But what is the thinking behind Zabka?
So we are convenience ecosystem for the customers. We are creating the convenience ecosystem, which in the center of the ecosystem is our customers. We have different businesses, but the biggest business unit is Zabka Poland, which are our stores. We have right now 9,351 stores. We are opening on average 3 stores per day. And we are one of the fastest growing retailer company in Europe. We are focusing on convenience. We say that our mission is to simplify our customers' life. We save our customers time by providing the, I even say not convenience, but ultra convenient solutions. So Zabka is something more than the store, because it's not only the place where you can do the quick shopping, the average time visit is 120 seconds, but also use variety of services, like, for example, withdraw or transfer the money. You can load your top-up phone card, you can collect your parcel, you can send your parcel, and many other services, or even buy insurance or medical services. So lots of services combined with the assortment, convenience assortment, which we offer to customers, we create ultra convenient solutions for them. So right now, I don't know if you are aware, but when you do and we did extensive research, so still, even during high inflation and difficult times, time for customers is extremely important and very valuable. So the customers value the solutions which are saving their times. And this is the mission for Zabka. So our business model is designed in a way to simplify our customers' life. Furthermore, because we have our physical stores, and among those physical stores, we are also the largest in Europe operator of unmanned stores, yes, which are the stores where you don't have checkouts, you don't have cashiers. The customer enters using the app or credit card, take and grabs whatever he wants from the shelves and goes out, which makes their shopping time 30% only of the regular shopping time, which is right now in Zabka, and 120 seconds is already very fast and very efficient. So I would summarize it that we are a retailer, something more than the store, ultra convenient solutions for customers, which is focusing on saving them free time, but also simplifying their lives.
Okay, now I'll go back to COVID. So pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID, what are the differences you have seen in consumer behavior, franchises, and SKUs, the products you were selling? Pre-COVID, what you were selling the most, during COVID, what were you selling, and post-COVID, what were you selling? So from three angles, from your product side, from your customer side. Customer is internal and external, that is franchisee, because you are in B2B and B2C business, both of that together. So what are the differences you have seen, pre,
Yes,
post, and now?
I'm happy that you mentioned our business model, because that's true, it's B2B, B2C. Yes, so it's not only B2C like most of the retailers. That's why we say that Zabka has two hearts. One is customer and one is franchisee. If you ask me who is more important, customer or franchisee, I will say they are equally as important. And we can observe those behavioral change in franchisees and in customers. And when we talk about franchisees, I would say that the stability is much more important right now for franchisees after COVID, because COVID showed that being franchisee and cooperating with a strong and a big brand supporting the businesses is extremely important. That is why we are working during COVID and after COVID on many solutions which gives stability and help for franchisees in how they run the store. When I say about stability and security, the example can be the most modern solution, which nobody has in Europe, the special insurance for franchisees, which help them and to avoid the possible debts when they finish cooperation with Zabka, for example, which is a great stability, and they value this a lot. From customer perspective, we can see that our ready meal solutions, our quick meal solutions, and our Zabka Cafe, so the food which we are selling is becoming more and more popular because customers, they have less time. It was in COVID when you start working remotely, everyone, I think you experienced this as well, Deepak, started to have less time because working remotely, you can manage much more things. But this created the situation where our customers, and generally customers on the market, they have less time. That's why they're using the solutions which are saving their time, which is, for example, in case of convenience stores, the ready meals. They don't need to spend time and go to the grocery store to buy ingredients to cooking and then spend time cooking them at home. So we can see that this behavioral change was very important. And right now, after COVID, of course, during high inflation, we see that value is also becoming one of the top most important things for our customers. That's why we are focusing so much on creating the best shopping experience, which is the value added to the shopping of our customers. So from assortment perspective, QMS, from franchisee perspective, it's stability and security. And from customers perspective, it's about time.
Okay, now I'll ask this question again at a very good answer. Now, post-COVID, it is stability for the franchisee. Post-COVID, it is 120 seconds for the customer in Zabka store, and cashierless stores is 84 seconds. Now, pre-COVID, what was the timing? Besides stability, how franchisees were looking at things, and during COVID. So what are the three changes you have seen?
So
I think people would like to know how Zabka navigated the time in terms of products, customers, and franchises.
Yes, so we invested a lot in developing our range of QSR, of quick meal solutions. Yes, this we invested a lot. We increased our new product development teams to make sure that we have the best quality and best ready meals on the market. We also invested in and created joint venture with some of our suppliers, together with which we are creating those innovative quick meal solutions for customers. So for sure, if you have seen Zabka before COVID and you see Zabka now, you will see that our range of ready meals is much more extended, is much more richer, and this is gaining the great momentum with sales, because in some of the subcategories, we have almost 3-digit increase of sales, which is great. And for franchisees, it's mainly the amount of resources which we invested in creating the solutions for franchisees to, one, give the security, one, to run the stores. So I will give you an example. Post-COVID, we didn't have the software before COVID, which would help franchisee to run all aspects of the stores from the screen of the smartphone. Right now, we call it Cyber Store. We have very intuitive solutions where the franchisees can use the smartphone and can run all aspects of the stores. We have automated replenishment, so the franchisee we have AI system allowing and helping the franchisees with indications how many products they should order. So franchisee does not need to spend, on average, they spend 8 hours per week thinking how many products they should order. Right now, it's just a few minutes and they accept, and they have just enough quantities which are needed to meet all the demands. For example, another solution is the special software, which is telling our franchisees step by step what kind of tasks they should do in the given amount of time during the day in the stores. It makes them, it gives them the options and opportunity to plan their stuff better, so they can have more time, which they can focus to serve customers and to create a good shopping experience for customers. So I think, and we have many examples, because COVID changed. When we have seen the behavioral change within the franchisees and within the customers, we were able to very quickly adapt, yes, and to relocate the resources to the activities where we believe that in those new circumstances they create value. So for franchisees, it was security, stability, but also productivity in running the store. And for customers, of course, everything which is saving their times and which is allowing them to have more choice in what concerns quick meals, ready meals solutions. And for speed of shopping, it was 120 before shopping. We say on average, it's still 120 after the COVID. Yes, but don't forget that it's a big achievement to achieve such high speed of visit in the store during the time when we introduce much more new assortment, services. So we were able to do it without impacting the length of time the customers spend in the store.
One lesson Zabka learned from COVID as a company.
Yes, it's not to be afraid to take tough choices, being agile. Yes, because we needed very quickly to make difficult choices in terms of resources allocation. what I described. So we learned that waiting, because we knew if we waited to see if we should take this decision or that decision, we would lose much more than taking the risks. So if you want to be successful, you need to take the risks, especially during the crisis situations. Yes, you need to trust your business model. You need to understanding your customers, your franchisees. Once you have this, you need to take the risk. And we made the good decisions because it's during the COVID, but thanks to those decisions that we were able, and this is very important, where many businesses were having problems, went bankrupt, we accelerated the growth. We started opening more than 1,000 stores, as it was during COVID, this decision.
So when I travel in airlines, sometimes I don't like the food, and then it is B2B model, but then the airline is serving me, which is B2C model. So to me, it's a very complicated model. So how you do that so well? What is the secret?
So the secret is the DNA of the company and the culture. Yes, we spend some time to make sure that we are creating and building franchisee-centric organization. Because it's obvious that in the retail business, customer is very important. In B2B2C model, the challenge was to make sure that everyone in the organization understands that the franchisee is as important as the customer. In order to do it, we needed to create franchisee-centric organization. So on all the meetings, before we make any decisions, we ask ourselves, is it increasing franchisee satisfaction, is helping the job of franchisee, is helping profitability of his business, or if not? If not, we are reviewing the decisions. Furthermore, we integrated franchisees into our key strategic decision-making process to make sure that we are not in a silos, that we are understanding the reality. So what we did, we created franchisee council. So this is the council which is elected every few years by all the franchisees. So this council is the representative of all the franchisees. And on the key strategic decisions, we are working together with this council to make sure that the decisions which we are taking, that the direction where the company is going is fully in line with what the franchisees are expecting. What we are also doing, we are making sure that every year we are in the company finding the efficiencies, and again from those efficiencies, we can reinvest to the value for franchisees, or with the new technological solutions, or improving profitability of their business. So this is like ongoing work. But I think that the key foundation was to make sure that everyone in the organizations, from top to bottom, understand what franchisee-centric organization means. Once you have those foundations, you can adapt all your processes to this. Because without this link, we wouldn't be so successful, because Zabka, the customer, franchisee is a face of Zabka to customer. So we need to make sure that we maintain high level of satisfaction. And we cannot forget that running retail store is not an easy job. Yes, you need to like the speed, you need to like talking to customers, you need to like the change. Yes, you need to be entrepreneurial. So we are doing our best to make sure that we are helping our entrepreneurs and franchisees to run their businesses.
So what do you suggest to me? Should I be a franchisee of Zabka or a customer of Zabka?
You should be both, Deepak. but franchisees, we have lots of successful franchisees. And imagine that because of the fact that we invested so heavily in the solutions which are facilitating to run the store, everyone can become a franchisee of Zabka. You don't need to have retail experience, yes? Because we have such a fantastic training programs and such a fantastic tools. It's only needed that you need to like the retail and you need to like interaction with customers.
Okay. Now a question to you. If you're in London and you have to buy something which is available at H&M and Zara, where will you enter? Which store will you enter?
I would enter to Zara. They have more exciting collections.
Okay. And what prompts you to enter Zara? Is it the customer service, or is it the product display, or it is the retail? What is it? Or the store design?
So from my personal experience, it's a mix. And I believe that you need to have all of this, because only products without the proper customer service or customer interface is not enough. Only customer service without the proper product mix is also not enough. So you need to have it all. From my experience and interactions with H&M and Zara had more of this. Yes.
Okay, so if you're in Poland and you have to buy something, which store will you enter? You have Zabka and two other competitors next to Zabka.
So I tell you, I'm biased because I always, as a top priority, go to Zabka. I always tell to my team, you need to visit the stores, you need to try our products, you need to buy our products to make sure that you are grounded to the business. So I'm doing this with pleasure. It also gives me time to interact with our franchisees, but also with customers. So as Zabka, top priority. But then, of course, I visit many other retailers, Deepak, because it's important to know you never operate as a business in a silos. As the customer, even with different shopping missions, have limited, wallet, and you fight for share of wallet. So I need to make sure that I know what kind of value proposition is being offered in the discounter channel, supermarket channel, hypermarket channels, but also mom and pop stores. Yes, so I'm visiting all those different stores to make sure that I keep my hand on the market and on the newest trend. I'm also traveling with my team abroad to make sure that we are observing the newest trend and we are trying to position Zabka where we are, because we always want to make sure that we are not one step, but two steps ahead of the competition. But in order to determine this, you need to really know what's going on the market and what are the newest trends.
Just tell us, Adam, one life-changing moment for you. Just one. A life-changing moment for you.
I think life-changing moment for you, I think it was, Deepak, when I went to study to France and when I saw retail. This is where I thought that my heart is for retail. That's why when I came back to Poznan, to Poland, I started working in retail. Yes, it was kind of, if I didn't go to study abroad, I think I would end up somewhere else. Yes.
Okay, now rewind back. Imagine that you already know that you have to get into retail. What will you do differently in your career?
I think I would be in the sector where I can for sure interact with customers. Yes, I couldn't do analytical job. I need to interact with customers or different stakeholders. This is what makes me happy. So human interaction. So for sure would be this. But also, I think I would subconsciously look for a place which is a very vivid and fast-growing, developing place. I like the change. As if you look at my career, I was always using opportunity to learn something.
What is the most important entrepreneurial skill that you think young entrepreneurs should have?
I think the biggest skill is understanding people. And when I say understanding people, it is both ways, your customers and your employees. For me, the strength is one has to believe in his own people. And I think COVID has taught us that. Empathy is very important. More than empathy is happiness of your people is very, very important. You have used technology to the best advantage I have ever heard. Now, I never thought that technology can be used with a great customer interface the way you have done it. Can you elaborate on that, how you use technology, Adam?
Yes, so we realized it was a few years ago that if we really want to be successful in the ultra convenience business and be successful on the market, market in Europe, especially in Poland, is very competitive. We need to invest in technology, but only investment is not enough because we needed to do transformational technological change within the company. So change mindset of everyone, of all the teams, yes, to really be technological driven. So it's not only that you say, but we wanted to make sure that we do. But in order to do it, you need to have the resources. So we made important CapEx decisions to invest a lot in technological solutions, but also we invest a lot in the people, in the teams. So right now, almost 25% of everyone employed at Zabka 25% of the people are working only on technological and innovation solutions. So right now we use technologies like cloud, AI, machine learning, or big data to help us to make the decisions, for example, where we are opening the stores. Many people are asking how it happens that you open so many stores with already so many and you don't have any cannibalization. Yes, because AI engine helps us to predict with 99% of confidence what will be the sales, what will be the profitability of each locations. Technology helps us to adapt the assortment segmentation to the proper segment. So we have different assortment in the ultra high traffic locations, different assortment in the residential locations, or in the seasonal locations, or in the campus locations, etc. Without AI, with almost 10,000 stores, it would be very difficult. We have all the informations in the cloud. It helps us to share all the data with many other teams. It helps us to see real time the performance of not only sales categories, but to performance up to each and one product in real time, how the product is selling, how it is selling compared to other similar products. So we are able to make the decisions based on this, and those are the customer preferences, decisions concerning our assortment, which category and subcategory should we increase, or maybe which one should be lower to increase the profitability of our franchisees business and profitability of Zabka. So it was a big step for us a few years ago making this. It was the strategic decision because it impacted all company, because it's not only to have enough capex and invest, you really need to change the mindset and the culture and have skilled teams who are able to implement, to work on those solutions, but later on, after implementation, can successfully use those solutions for the decision-making process. So it was a big thing for Zabka, and without this, I'm 100% sure you wouldn't be able to grow so fast. You wouldn't be able to create so much value which we are investing for franchisees, but also for customers. And you wouldn't be able to create so many unique products which can be found only in Zabka stores.
So I have this WhatsApp message, and they say Zabka being successful, no big deal, because they have Adam, they have a great team, and they have CVC funding and great financial discipline and great ESG practices. So, but I met you through one of your colleagues, Monica, who was in my class. So I would also say that your team is very good. You're a great leader. My question is how you make sure that the team stays with you. They are constantly motivated, and you're looking after them.
Yes, Deepak, you are fully right. It's all about the teams. It's all about the teams, and you need to know that the team is not working for the company. The team is working with a leader, with other team members. So, for example, my philosophy is we could call it servant leadership. Yes, I don't want team to work for me. I want to work for my team to make sure that they feel motivated and that they can grow with the company. I think that the uniqueness about Zabka is the fact that one hand, you can grow with the company, you can develop your career, and on another hand, it's a great place to work because of the value and also because of the fact that we investment in growing and developing our people. But also from, if you look at like ESG perspective, we make sure that diversity and inclusion is there, and it's part of the DNA of the company. I give you an example. Half of the board in Zabka are women. 60% of promotions during last 12 months for the senior managers positions were also women, where normally retail is for men, yes? So we also gained the equal salary certificate, which proves that on the world scale, we meet all those requirements. We are very proud of this. Just recently, we received Gallup's Exceptional Workplace Award, and we are in top 10% of the places where employees are most satisfied and engaged from working this. So we are also very proud because we are there is none other retailer having this kind of world award in Poland. So we are very proud of this. And I think those are many elements which contributed to this. But I think that the most important element is to make sure that you create very good working environment, that the people come to work happy. We discussed many things with you when I met you about happiness, yes, and you are expert with happiness. So you need to make sure that you create a workplace where people come to work happy, they want to work because they see that they can grow, that they can develop, they see that other people are caring about them, that they have friends there. So I think it's about the culture, it's about the DNA, but it's also about how top management is behaving, because it goes top to down, leading by example. So I'm always telling to my teams, their teams are observing them, they need to give the best example. And I would say we are slowly getting there, but we are already there. You can still always be better, but I think that Gallup World Exceptional Workplace Award is something unique, which we are proud of, which shows us that we are on a very good track to not only attract the talents, but also retain the talents within Zabka. And when I see the growth of the company, of Zabka Group, because we are a group, I talked on the beginning, we create all ecosystem. It's not only about the stores, but all convenience ecosystem where customers is in the center. I'm very happy to see that when the group is growing, also our teams are growing, because most of the promotions are internal promotions. Yes, so when I have the senior manager role, and this is the new role, as a top priority, we are looking inside who can be promoted. It is really in a it happens very seldom that we employ somebody from outside. First focus is to see how we can grow and how we can develop the people. And then you have all those aspects of diversity and inclusion to make sure that everyone feels included. Yes, I think it's extremely important.
I think excellent. I think I will tell our students that they should be looking at Zabka also for the future opportunities, because it seems like a great company. Not easy to get the Gallup top 10% for employees. So congratulations, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepak. Yes, we are very proud of this, and we will continue to do this great work.
I think what impressed me as an organization is, I think I'm very impressed with you. You have a great leadership. I like your team. I met some of your senior team members when they visited Bangkok. Then you have a great financial discipline because of CVC and ESG practices. So you are a complete organization as a whole. So I have two questions. The first question, I may try to put you in a spot, but you're very smart. If I'm your competitor, what advice will you give me to enter Poland, to compete with Zabka?
Well, I would, I respect my competitors, but I'm not giving them advice. Yes, so I would for sure respect you. Yes, we could meet on lunch or dinner, but I think it would be rather a conversation in general about the market than giving each other advice. Yes, but I can tell you from competitors' perspective, Poland is extremely difficult retail market because, and this is, if you look at the data, we have one of the lowest margins on the market. Yes, because of the discounters which are pushing the prices very low. That's why I'm so happy to see that our business model, convenience models, is so accepted by customers, and we can really grow financially strong, but also fast growing company.
You know what amazes me about your organization, which I never heard. So maybe I'm going to speak to Dr. Anna, and maybe we should do a case with Zabka, is how you find your location for franchises. Can you elaborate on that? Because that's something very, very interesting. Maybe my exposure is very limited, but I never heard something like what Zabka does. So I would like you to elaborate on that. How you help franchisees set up the location, everything. Please, Adam.
So we have to grow so fast to open 1,000. Last year we opened more than 1,100 stores. 2 years ago we opened 1,050 stores. Like we opened this year, we will open also more than 1,000 stores. To grow so fast, you need to have a special model which helps you to connect the dots. And connecting the dots, this is at the right moment, finding the right location, finding the right franchisee, prepare the location to open the store, and to train the franchisee, and then to shadow the franchisee when the franchisee starts running the business, to make sure that he or she is successful. So you need, in order to connect all those dots, you need to have very strong technological backbone. Yes, if you don't have it, it would be very difficult to manage all those processes. So for example, in order to open the new store as a base, you need to find the location. So we have a team of a very experienced expansion team across the Poland, and the software and the AI which we applied analyzed almost 10 million of addresses in Poland, and is able to indicate to those teams where to look for the specific locations. Once the location is found, it is going to be checked and modeled also by the special algorithms which helps us to predict with a very, very high level of certainty the future sales of the stores. So we compare the rent for the store, we check the sales, we know the margins, then we can conclude on profitability, we can conclude on payback return. And once having all those information, we have investment committees where we make decision for each location, we go for it or we don't go for it. And once we have locations, we know where we are looking for the franchisees, and we have separate teams which are looking for the franchisees. And we have very attractive franchisee offer, and we have also very elaborated training systems. As I said before, you don't need to have retail experience to successfully run Zabka stores. So for selected locations, we are meeting with candidates. We have also a strong pipeline of the candidates willing to open the Zabka store, so they're waiting for the location. And once we have it, we start the training process. And at the same time, you have another process of preparing the locations to be opened. Yes, so the franchisee does not need to bring the location. The franchisee does not need to own the location. The franchisee, the only requirement to enter Zabka is to successfully pass the examination after the training process, and to have a small contribution, small investment, where you buy the checkout, which is regulated by law. You need to do it to have your own business. So the entry barriers to run Zabka stores are really low. We made it really low because of our investment in our business model, and that's why we are also known in Poland as a flagship example how you can increase entrepreneurial spirit in a country. Yes, because every store is a new entrepreneur in a country. And right now we are working with more than 8,000 franchisees currently. Yes, but for this, I would say, Deepak, in order to do this in efficient and disciplined way, you mentioned cost discipline, and we are very cost disciplined, you need to have very strong technological backbone. Without this, it would be with so many processes, so many different dots which you need to connect, it would be very difficult.
I'm in the hospitality business, and we are finding it very difficult to find champagne. I've got 3 senior people working 24 hours to collect as many champagne bottles on a daily basis they collect, because the supply chain is completely disturbed. Now, yours is a very logistical business. How are you managing your supply chain management?
Yeah, so we have right now 9 distribution centers in Poland. Yes, we have almost 20 cross docks. Our supply chain is very sophisticated because, as you know, in each retail business, logistics and supply chain is critical. One, because of the cost effectiveness. Yes, and the second thing is to make sure that you have full availability of the products which we are carrying. And another thing is that it impacts your cash flow if, for example, you have too much stock, etc. So we invested a lot in logistics, which to make sure that having the locations, for example, small locations, almost 10,000 locations in many different cities, the logistic is most efficient as possible. So we have lots of, for example, small trucks going to the separate stores, but we have the software which helps us to establish the trips in a very efficient way, that the small truck goes from the distribution center full and spends only as small amount of kilometers needed to serve the biggest amount of stores to make it really efficient. We invest lots in the processes, also in the robotics. This year we already opened chilled and frozen, the newest and most modern automated distribution center near Warsaw, which will be serving up to 5,000 stores. And you have full automation with a high bay. This is designed from the scratch, especially for Zabka. It's not copy-paste. All the systems, all the robotics, all the automation is designed for us to make sure that we gain as much as the efficiencies. And our supply chain efficiencies are a good example that once you have very efficient supply chain, you can reinvest those efficiencies, which we are constantly doing, in the value for franchisees, to every year increase their level of satisfaction, and also to the customers, making sure that you are always 2 steps ahead of the competitors. But and we will continue to do this. So this is like the separate, we can call it a separate area where we have special programs and where we have special design, and we have for next to 10 years elaborated in details what and when we want to do and what kind of investment we want to do, so that the supply chain maintained and supported the growth of the company. Because if you open the stores without growing your supply chain, you know, it would be difficult at some level to have products on the shelf. So you need to grow on one hand the business from store perspective, but on another perspective, at the same time, you need to grow your supply chain and in many retailers, they say that supply chain is the heart of the retail business, which I fully agree. As you need to have it, it may be not visible, but it's behind of all the system. And this is creating the fact that the customer, when he comes to the store, can find proper products on the shelf. Yes. Behind this is sophisticated supply chain.
So Adam, you have 8,000 franchises, 9,350 stores. So everyone who's listening, how many customers a day?
So we have right now more than 3 million. The number is growing, which makes me happy, because this is the most.
So you have 3 million customers
per day.
So everyone who's listening has 3 million customers a day. So you can imagine the technology that is behind that. So truly commendable. And how many SKUs in the stores in terms of number?
Yes, around 2,000. Yes. So we have.
And how many of 2,000 is proprietary to Zabka, like Zabka own product, or only exclusive to Zabka?
Yeah. So we have a few hundred of products on a constant basis, which are our products. But I can give you an example that during last 12 months, we introduced 500 branded products, which you could buy only in Zabka, the big brands, yes, a top exclusive for Zabka, which is part of our strategy to creating the image of Zabka as a place where you can buy the products which you can buy nowhere else. So it's not only our private brands, but also the top, world brands, which create special brands for us, yes, and which, for example, if they launch the new product, top branded product, like the new flavor of Coke, we are on a position on the market that we can have it for a long time as the only unique and exclusive retailer. And we are working like this with our other top suppliers. And for this, it also requires a special business model, special modus operandi. But what I can see that our suppliers are very happy and they appreciate the fact that we make the decision so fast. We are not afraid of experimenting with the novelties, with innovations. And right now we are very known on the market from innovative approach to how we create our assortment and product range for customers.
So we're coming to the end of our conversation. So 2 or 3 simple questions for you. Which place is more colder or much colder, Canada or Poland?
Canada, Deepak, Canada. Poland compared to Canada is warm, yes.
Yeah, for all those who don't know Adam comes from Canada. Now, you mentioned innovation and you mentioned experience. So in your organization, how many people you're hiring based on experience over expertise? I think you must be hiring two different kind of people because your business is like that, expertise and experience. So if you have to balance it, which side will be heavier, experience or expertise?
So in number, if you look at numerical, it's expertise. But if you look at the weight, for example, the higher you are in the organization, it's more experience. Yes, so we have it in our DNA that the higher you are in the organization, the more you think what I could do differently, what I could do more, either for customers or for franchisees, or how can I increase the value which is Zabka creating. Yes, so for this you need to think from experience perspective. Yes, but this we require depending on the role, on the level, because this is the manager and senior manager who this with the approach is inspiring the teams, even expertise teams.
I like two words you said, experiment and experience. And in Latin, there's one word called experience. And that says one should experiment and experience. And the other thing, you reapproach your processes very regularly, and reputation is the mother of a great organization. So I think this brings us to the end of our conversation, Adam. Anything else you want to tell the viewers who are watching this?
No, first of all, I would like to thank you, Deepak. Yes, thank you, Anya. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, congratulations, Deepak, on your great book. Yes, great inspiration.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
And I would also like the people who joined us and who spent time to listen about Zabka. So I hope if you didn't have experience with Zabka, that I inspired you a little bit to visit our stores, but also if you run your businesses, I hope that maybe I inspired you with some of the solutions. If you need anything more, you can reach out to me via LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to stay connected with you.
I think I've learned a lot. I didn't know much about the retail business. So this is completely a new perspective for me. And thanks for sharing so many things in so much of detail. So thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for the conversation. Thank you all and hope to see you soon. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, James. And thank you, everyone. This brings us to the end of second round of conversations with the CEOs. So watch for the episode number 3. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Bye-bye.